Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Old Dads. Well, here's the thing, right? I came here to watch Nowhere. That's another movie on Netflix. I forgot to mention that. I'm on Netflix, right? And I was like, I'm going to watch Nowhere, which is, I think, is a Spanish film or a foreign film. Doesn't matter who, whatever. You can look it up. I'm not going to get into that, but that's what I was going to watch. And then I was clicking through, and it says Old Dads. And I'm like, well, and it's the #2 movie out of the top 10 movies in the USA Today on Netflix. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's apropos, if you will, to watch Old Dads. By the way, I'm a dad. I think you could figure out the first part. So it's a comedy about 3 middle-aged fathers. Okay, maybe I'm on the upper echelon of there. Struggling to keep up with a more progressive world of parenting and career and culture. Hour and 44 minutes, and it is 6.3 on IMDb, 11,636 people rated it so far. Oh, and Bill Burr is in it. I'm sorry, hold on. Bill Burr, Bobby Cannavale, sorry, probably said that wrong. Bokeem, Woodbine. I know who he is, I never knew his name. And whatever, you know. So I am kind of excited to see. It's, you know, like Netflix. So if you have Netflix, we'll see. This is probably my demographic. I don't know. You be the judge. Stick around. I'm going to tell you what it's about, tell you if it's any good. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Old Dads, and I have to say, 50-50 on this one. There was a lot of funny points. I mean, I think there was at least 3 or 4 times that I laughed out loud. I love Bobby Cannavale. He does a great job. Carbondale. That's like a town where I live, near where I live. You know, whatever his name is. I like him. I thought he was greatness. He was perfect. And there's a lot of parts that I laughed at. And again, it could be my demographic, but I thought it was worth the outside laugh, out loud laugh. But what they do, what the movie is about, these dads who are a little bit older, you know, just having children in their late 40s, and how they're dealing not only with that, which was the part that I enjoyed the most, but it's about dealing with different generations and what they grew up with, right? And you know, what's going on in the world today, what new generations find important to themselves. Which is great. I like that plot line. I think that can be really, really funny, and there could be a lot of interesting takes on it, and things that maybe you'll laugh at, and things that other people will find interesting. However, I felt that they took a little too far. Instead of just like messing up, and I'll give a real quick example of like messing up and calling a he rather than a they kind of situation, messing up the pronouns. You know, where I could see that, like, you know, different from a different generation to today's generation, how that might offend somebody, and making a joke kind of that in a movie. Not that I'm not saying that's okay, but I could see that they went way over the top, right? And calling a woman something that you shouldn't call a woman, no matter what generation you're in. You know what I mean? Like, it was wrong all these generations. So that I didn't. Not that I was offended, but I didn't find humor in it, you know, when they went that far. I think if they could have curtailed it a little bit, it would have been funnier. You know, and, you know, while it was somewhat relatable, because I'm an old dad, it was fun, and I liked it. But just that piece, just, I don't know. The soundtrack, I enjoyed. I thought they did a good job. There wasn't a lot of songs, but the ones that stood out to me, I liked, probably on purpose because it was my demographic. But in the end, and I think if you're a fan of Bill Burr and his comedy, I think that's really what it's more about. And so, and I think some of the stuff he does is fun, but the over-the-top stuff, it's, I don't know. So, there you go. There was, you know, some things where you're dealing with, like, wow, really? You know, he's dealing with a situation that some of us all deal with, like kids in school, and it's like you did, you know, 2 minutes too late, and it's like, really? You know, that kind of stuff. not laugh at, but also relatable. But again, the over the top stuff kind of drug it down a little bit, and that's it. That's all I got. I don't know. It was a find. Like I said, I was going into Netflix for something else, so I can't be that overly disappointed. It wasn't like on my list, but I'll relate it. I think if you have Netflix, obviously, if you like Bill Burr, you probably like this movie. If you're sensitive to some, what is it, cultural politics maybe? I don't know. So, you know, if you're sensitive to that, you might not like this that much. But there you go. That's all I got. I don't know what else to say. It's a tough one. But hopefully I was somewhat helpful. If not, I apologize. And thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.